Hello everyone, this is me Ratna Tiwari welcomes you in my channel. This video is part 2 of food quality and food safety. If you didn't watch part 1 of food quality and safety yet, then go to my channel and watch part 1 of food quality and food safety. Just take a look on the learning objectives of food quality and food safety. After completing this part, you will aware of national and international food standard and their role in ensuring food quality and safety. Understand the importance of food safety management system and what are the various career paths in the field of food quality and food safety. Please like, share and subscribe my channel and don't forget to press bell button so that you can get further updates. The topic which will cover in this video is food standard and regulation in India, international organization and agreements, food safety management system, scope and career avenues. So let's begin with food standard. An effective food standard and control system are required to integrate quality into every aspect of food production and services to ensure the supply of hygienic, wholesome food as well as to facilitate trade within and between nations. There are 4 levels of standard which are well coordinated. These are company standard, which is prepared by a company for its own use. Normally, they are copies of national standard. Next is national standard. These are issued by the national standard body. Next is regional standards. Regional group with similar geographical area, climate, etc. have legislation standardization bodies. And last, international standard. The International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO, and Codex Alimentarius Commission, CAC. These are the 4 levels of food standards. Now, food standard regulations in India. That is the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, also called PFA 1954. Was enacted by Government of India to prevent adulteration of food. This act has been amended as per need numerous times. Almost 200 amendments over 200 amendments has been done till date. All food products manufactured in India or imported and sold in India have to meet the requirement prescribed under this act. In addition to PFA, there are other orders or acts that help to ensure the quality of a specific food, such as Fruit and Vegetable Product Order, a specification for fruits and vegetable products are laid down. Meat Food Products Order, processing of meat products is licensed under this process, and Vegetable Oil Products Order is a specification for vanaspati, margarine and shortening are laid down. Now there are some voluntary product certification are some voluntary grading and marking schemes since the government had several regulations and law. A need was therefore felt to integrate all such laws for regulating the quality of food. So these are ISI mark, FSSAI and egg mark. ISI mark is standardization of processed food, electronic item and industrial item. Egg mark is standardization for mark for agriculture products, raw material and processed as well. And FSSAI, Food Safety and Standard Act 2006, to bring the different piece of legislation pertaining to food safety under one umbrella. The standard marks is given here for ISI, egg mark and FSSAI. ISI mark is issued by Bureau of Indian Standard BIS and is effective since 1955, and the products under this standard mark is infant foods and packaged drinking water, some electronic item and industrial items also come under this mark. And next is egg mark. Egg mark is issued by Directorate of Marketing and Inspection of the Government of India and applicable since 1937 and amendment in 1986. This mark is given to all agricultural products. The present egg mark standard cover quality guidelines for 213 different commodities spanning a variety of pulses, cereals, essential oil, vegetable oils, fruit and vegetables and semi-processed products like vermicelli. FSSAI 2006. The object of the Act are to consolidate the laws relating to food. The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India was established for laying down science-based standard for food, to regulate their manufacture, storage, distribution, sale and import, and also to ensure the availability of safe and wholesome food for human consumption. Means from regulate the food from their manufacture, storage, distribution, sales and import to ensure safe availability of food for human consumption. The Act have some provisions for maintenance of hygienic conditions in and around manufacturing premises, assessment and management of risk factor to human health in a scientific manner which were not specified in PFA, and reflect the international shift in food laws from compositional standard or vertical standard to safety or horizontal standard. Now just take a look on the international organizations and agreements in the area of food standard, quality, research and trade. Since ancient time, some governing authorities of the world over have made attempts to develop and implement food standard in order to protect health of consumers. There have been several international organizations and agreements which have played a role in enhancing food safety, quality and security, facilitating research and trade. The major organizations which play the key role are Codex Alimentarius Commission (CAC), International Organization for Standardization ISO and World Trade Organizations WTO. These are three international organizations and agreements for international food standard. Their logos are given here. So let's begin with Codex Alimentarius Commission CAC. What are the objectives? It is an intergovernmental body formed with the objective of establishing international standard to protect the health of the consumer and facilitate food and agriculture trade. 187 members countries for Codex and one member organization, that is European Community is there, and India is a member of Codex through the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So what are the gravity points? It is important that it is a single most important international reference point for development associated with food standard, and it publishes a document for food codes and is a collection of internationally adopted food standard. Different countries use Codex standard to develop national standard. Codex India is the national codex point NCCP for India. It is located at the Directorate General of Health Services DGHS, Ministry of Health and Welfare, Government of India. It coordinates and promotes Codex activities in India in association with the National Codex Committee. If you are very interested to get information, then there is a website given for Codex India, www.codexindia.nic.in. You can go and check all the details there. Then International Organization Standardization ISO. The International Organization for Standardization is a worldwide non-government federation of national standard bodies, that is ISO member bodies. The mission of ISO is to promote the development of standardization and related activities in the world, to facilitate the international exchange of goods and services, to develop cooperation in spheres of intellectual, scientific and technological and economic activity. What are the consequences? The work done by ISO results in international agreements which are published as international standard. ISO 9000 is an international reference for quality management of an organization. Adoption of these standards is voluntary. So ISO is clear to you. Now what is the difference between Codex and ISO? Just take a look. Codex used to develop national regulations. It's slow to change and it is described the minimal acceptable practices. Where ISO is a voluntary organization, standards are reviewed every 5 years and describe current standard industrial practices. So these are the major difference between ISO and Codex. Now, World Trade Organization (WTO) was established in 1955. 1955, and the objective of WTO is to help trade flow smoothly, freely, fairly, and predictably by administrating trade agreements, settling trade disputes, assisting countries to trade policy issues. The WTO agreement covers goods, services, and intellectual property. In order to adoption and implementation of standards, there is a need for a strong food control system. An effective food control system must consist of food inspection and analytical capability. Any food control system have two major points, that is food inspection must be done and analytical capability should be there. So what is food inspection? Conformity of products to standard is verified through inspection. This is the main objective. This will ensure that all food products are produced, handled, processed, and distributed, stored in compliance with regulations and legislation. Government or municipal authorities appoint legislation. How it can control? That government, municipal corporation authorities appoint food inspectors to investigate quality conformity to standard in their laboratory. Many times you listen this word, food inspector. So food inspector inspect the food either by self or on any complaint, and then further process will be done. And analytical capability is also, there is a need for well-equipped, state-of-the-art accredited laboratories to carry out analysis of food. Further, well-trained personnel having knowledge of principles of laboratory management should be there. So the analytical capability work is to detect food contaminants, environmental chemicals, and biotoxins, pathogenic bacteria, food-borne viruses, and parasites. Lab is required for this, and further well-trained personnel is also required for analytical testing, so that food can be tested properly, and a broad range of analytical capability is required there to detect contamination, environmental chemical, biotoxins, food-borne virus, and parasites. You all know that food can be contaminated at any point from farm to fork. From where it is produced, transported, then in mills, processing is done, then distributor, then retail restaurant, and when it come to on your table, there is many chances of contamination is there at any stage, which you see here. At any stage contamination can be occur. So food safety management system is also required. Over years, issues related to food safety and quality have gone beyond just the avoidance of food-borne pathogens, chemical toxicants, and other hazards. A food hazard can enter into the food at any stage. So food safety and quality must be ensured. So there should be a need of system which ensure the safety and quality of food. So there are food safety and quality is ensured through following practices, that is GMP, good manufacturing practice, GHP, good handling practice, and HACCP, hazard analysis critical control points. These are the food safety management systems. Let's start with good manufacturing practices, that is GMP. GMP, part of quality assurance to manufacturer. Processor take protective steps to ensure that their products are safe. What are the function of GMP? To minimize or eliminate contamination and false labeling. Many times false labeling is done. So GMP is minimize the chances of false labeling, protecting the consumer from being misled, and help in purchasing safe products, and help to refine compliances and performance by manufacturer and producer. Its logo is given here, GMP. Next, these are for GMP. Good handling practices, that is GHP, a comprehensive approach from the farm to the store or consumer in order to identify the potential source of risk and indicate what steps and procedures are taken to minimize the risk of contamination. So what are the benefits of GHP? Ensure that all persons who handle the food have good hygienic practices, enhance food safety, ensures that food is safe and suitable for human consumption, and recommended by HACCP, ISO and other food security agencies. Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, HACCP, means providing assurance about safety of food. This is the major principle of HACCP. It is a management system in which food safety is addressed through the analysis and control of biological, chemical, and physical hazards from raw to finished product. The functions of HACCP is to identification of hazards, assessment of chances of occurrence of hazards during each stage in food chain, that is from raw material, procurement, manufacturing, distribution, uses of food products, and defining measures for hazard. This is the logo of HACCP certified products. What is the need for HACCP implementation in food manufacturing? As it is a preventive approach to ensure food safety, end products inspection and testing in time consuming, expensive, and detects the problem only after they occur. Clear? In contrast, HACCP enables us to detect hazard at any stage of processing or manufacturing in order to ensure a good quality end product by taking appropriate action at the stage where the problem occurs. It enables producer, processor, distributors and exporter to utilize resources efficiently and in a cost-effective manner for assuring food safety. FSSAI 2006 places primary responsibility for safe food with producers and suppliers through HACCP, GMP, GHP. This is important for consumer protection and international food trade. It assures consistently good quality of products and utilize resources in very cost-effective manner for assuring safety of food. So these are the needs for HACCP implementation in food manufacturing process. Now just take a look on the scope of food safety and food quality. As India is experiencing growth in the area of food processing, the food industry in India accounts for about 26% of GDP. 26% of GDP and will be one of the major growth areas in the year ahead. This have given impetus to international trade but has also increased the responsibility to achieve appropriate level of safety in terms of sanitary and protection. Clear? So further, the Food Safety and Standard Act 2006 reflect a major shift in food laws and seeks to provide greater consumer protection by ensuring safety and wholesome of food at all stages of the food chain. So this changing scenario has widened the scope and increased career opportunities in this area. So what knowledge is required in this field? The professionals who take up career in this area need to have adequate knowledge and expertise in food chemistry, food processing, preservation, food analysis and quality control. It is also desirable to well versed in food microbiology, food laws and sensory evaluation. What are the career avenues? There are many career options in food industry. Just take a look at quality control laboratories in food industry as analyst or as at any managerial level. Food testing laboratories in public and private sector, food inspector and food testing. Specialist in HACCP, teaching and academic options is available there for a career. Quality certification such as ISO. There is a job for food auditors also. There are vast option for research field. So if you are interested in research, then you can join this field. You may become a scientific writer and in voluntary organization in various capacities there is a job opportunities. Self-employment and entrepreneurship is also there. One can initiate entrepreneurship activities through analytical food laboratory, food safety, consultancy and food safety and sanitation education. So this is all about food quality and food safety. I hope you understand this topic now. So watch both the video part 1 and part 2 for both better understand this chapter. Then there is a review question for you. Just write down what is a Codex Alimentarius, discuss the significance of HACCP and list the national and international food standard and what are the difference between Codex and ISO. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, stay healthy.